Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel with a new video about Final Fantasy X. This is my second video and it will be dedicated to the first real side quest in order to obtain the Celestial Mirror, and this is a very important item because without it you won't be able to unlock a lot of chests containing all the ultimate weapons for your characters. So we want to get this item as soon as possible in order to afterwards do all the other side quests. So when you have access to Macadamia Woods, this is after the Bevel episode during the storyline, you can go in this screen in which you will start the quest. You can do this either during the storyline or afterwards when you get the airship, and this will not have any impact on the side quest. So it's up to you entirely, either during the storyline as I did or afterwards when you get the airship. I just collected a Jack Sphere, it is not important for now, I will make a complete video for them. Most important for you is to know where I am. So you have two characters standing there and you want to talk to both of them until they don't have anything new to tell you. And basically they are explaining that their father, well, the father of the son, is missing and you want to find him. Go back in the previous screen and again in the next one. We arrive here to a crossroad. South you will get the lake when you had the famous scene, and north you will get a small area with a chest on the left, and on the right you should see this character. If you don't see this character, it's because you haven't spoken yet or properly to the two previous characters, child and mother, and you want to speak to them until they don't have anything new to tell you. So when you have spoken to this man, go back where the rest of his family is and you will be able to talk to them again. This time both parents will be here but their son is missing, and this is what they're explaining you and they're asking you to find him. You want to talk to them until again they don't have anything new to say to you, and you will be able to find their son, which is very close. I spoke to them a lot of times just to make sure that the quest was activated, and afterwards you want to go on this shiny path. You can walk on it without any problem, you can't fall, don't worry, and the sun will be just here. As you can see, it's a really easy part of the side quest. It is not entirely done. Unfortunately, you will have to do some annoying part just afterwards, but at the moment, the first step of the side quest is done. We can also continue this side quest during the storyline, so you don't have to stop and wait until the end of the game. You can complete it entirely during the storyline. Anyway, you want to go back to the crossroad, continue ahead of you, and you will reach soon Calm Lands. Since I'm doing that during the storyline, I have all the cutscenes, but I will skip them entirely, so you will not have to watch them again. So we are going to continue this side quest in the Calm Lands, and this is the biggest area by far in the game, and it can be quite painful to navigate by foot. However, the side quest will involve chocobos, so you will have access to a free unlimited chocobo services, so you won't have to worry at all. But first you will have to complete a few steps. I will also cut all dialogues, cutscenes, fights, so you will only see me running actually a lot. This area is also where you can start another side quest, hunting monsters, that you can start as well during the storyline, and I highly encourage you to get there and to start capturing monsters during the storyline. If you don't, it's not a problem, you won't miss anything and you will have the possibility to do it later. Well, it feels more natural to start it during the storyline, because when you will start dedicating yourself to do this lengthy side quest, you will have already a lot of monsters. But this is only a side note. It's not the focus on this video. I want to focus on getting the Chocobo part done. So I'm going there just because there's a save point, and this is the location that you enter when you're going on Calmlands through the airship. So if you have completed the storyline and you want to start this quest, you should use this sphere save as a point of reference. Anyway, I'm outside and let's start the side quest. You want to go completely northeast of Calmlands, and since you don't have a Chocobo yet, you will have to fight a lot. If you need to level up, for example, if it's during the storyline, it's a very good opportunity to level up all of your characters, just because monsters are not so hard and they yield a lot of experience. So now we can see the Chocobo and there's a lady riding it. So you want to speak to this character, not any other character riding a Chocobo. So specifically this character. She will offer you some Chocobo training lessons and you want to take them. And this is probably the most frustrating part of the entire game, and yes, I include difficult bosses, other quests, everything. The beginning not too complicated, but it gets harder and harder as you go on, and trust me, you want to get rid of this as fast as you can. She's explaining you all the rules. For the first one, you just have to cross the finish line, which is just in front of you, but the controls are completely messed up because your Chocobo is not trained. He will randomly go left and right, and the only thing that you want to do is to control it by going in the opposite direction. So you want to cross the finish line as fast as you can. You will have a time limit. The balloons here only represent the edges of the track, so you just want to stay between those balloons. You don't want to collect them, and each time the Chocobo is going left, you want to go right and vice versa. And you should not have much trouble with this, but if you fail, you can restart as many times as you want. There's no limit and you won't have to pay anything, so just restart until you beat the time. You don't have to beat it by a lot, but if you're doing exactly 0.12.8 seconds, it will not register. So you want to beat it, and afterwards you will get an elixir. It's not an amazing reward. You will have the possibility to retake the lesson as many times as you want. If you beat your own score, you will get a crappy reward, so it is certainly not worth it. You want to go on with the Dodger Chocobo. This time you will have also to cross the finish line. You will have a score to beat, but your Chocobo will be going where you want it to go. He will not move left and right on his own. You will have to control it manually. However, this time you will have obstacles, namely a lot of balls going in your directions, and you want to avoid them. My advice for this is to move only in one direction until you reach the edge of the map, and you want to avoid them at the very last moment. So you don't want to go too much in one direction. You want to go slightly left or slightly right, and if possible in the last moment. However, when you reach an edge of the track, you want to go in the opposite direction a bit earlier, so not at the last moment. You want to stay on the edge and go in the opposite direction earlier to avoid again those balls. You will get a better reward, level 1 key sphere, but don't take the lessons again, it's not worth it. The third lesson will be much more painful, and this time you should have some trouble probably if you haven't done that already in a previous game, in a previous run. You also want to cross the finish line before the end of the timer. Birds will behave similarly to the balls in the previous game. However, this time balls will explode on impact. And what you want to do this time is to deviate from your path much earlier than before. You will have to go almost perpendicularly to the track, because else you will not be able to avoid those obstacles, and if you get hit once, it's very likely that you will get hit just right afterwards. So in order to improve your time, you will have to be much more careful, and you will want to turn much before you see those obstacles. And since you don't want to go in a straight line, you will have to go left and right all the time. You can't afford to stay on one edge of the track. You will have to go back immediately to the center and then to the opposite side of the track. So constantly move left and right according to the obstacles. And now the last part is a race against your trainer, and this is the most frustrating part of the game by far. Just because it's so random, trust me, if you fail this time, don't worry, you will probably have to restart 50 or 100 times. It takes a lot of time when you're not familiar with the race. The goal here is not only to beat the trainer but also to get a final score of 0 seconds, because this is mandatory to get an important item later on. And since we are doing the Chocobo side quest, let's do it as well. So the most important part is to collect balloons. Each balloon collected will subtract 3 seconds to your race time, and this is the only way to have a negative time, let's say. The second most important aspect is to be in front of the Chocobo trainer, because if he's in front of you, he will collect balloons just in front of you, and this will be extremely frustrating. Third, there are some invisible barriers left and right of the track, and you will want to learn them. So if you get near an edge of the track, it will automatically move in the opposite direction, and this is very frustrating and can mess up your entire strategy. So each time the Chocobo is not moving when you ask him, it's because you're near an edge of the track and you want to remember the location when it happened, just because next time you will not go as close and it will be much easier. So when you beat the Chocobo trainer, you will have access to the Chocobo income lands, and if you have a negative time, I mean 0 seconds, you will get the Sun Sigil, which is an important key item. I will show you the rest to you again. Now I will focus on the path that you will have to follow in order to win and get a negative time. First off, there are 4 balloons. You want to go slightly left but not too much in order to be in front of the trainer. If you miss those 4 balloons, you will lose and not be able to. It's impossible. The 5th one usually appears just before you turn automatically to the right, so it's quite difficult to collect. Afterwards, you will have to select if you want to be more on the left or on the right, and make sure that you watch out for the birds and turn at the very last moment. You want to enter as close as you can to the shadow, because you want to let your Chocobo automatically turn to the left in order to avoid more easily those birds. And the last part is entirely random. I am sorry, because those birds will be so close to you that it's almost impossible to avoid them. And usually when you hit one, you will be hit by another one right after. So my piece of advice for you at this moment is to focus on avoiding birds, even if it means missing 1 or 2 balloons. So this is why it is really important to collect those balloons early on and not at the end of the race. So that's it for the race. I don't have any more advice for you. I know this will be frustrating, so good luck for that. You will have to retry a lot of times. Don't worry, everyone will be frustrated and everyone will have the same difficulties than you, so you're not alone. Anyway, now when it is done, you have access to the Chocobo, and simply by talking to this girl, you will have an unlimited amount of Chocobos and for free. Here, just right of the Chocobo trainer, you will have this small ledge, and there's a weapon for Tidus here. However, you will not be able to open it because you will have to complete the first mission and to get the Celestial Mirror first. And this is why I want you to continue the side quest, and afterwards we will be able to get progressively all the weapons for your characters. So at this point you should have access to the Chocobo. If you don't have the Sun Sigil now, it is, well, it's not mandatory, but it would be really annoying to have to do it later. I don't recommend you to save it for later. You will be frustrated as well, you will maybe not have the patience to do it. So meanwhile we are here and starting this Chocobo quest, my advice for you is to get this Sun Sigil, and when you're done, just save your game and you will never have to do it ever again. Now we are almost done. We still have a Chocobo race to make. It is difficult, but not as much as the Sun Sigil. So, and here I was in the storyline, so I faced Belgamin, but it's again not mandatory. So I just skipped the whole fight. Let's focus on the last Chocobo race. It will happen in the Temple of Remiem, which is also accessible through Comlands. So here I'm just collecting 2 additional chests. Well, it's just if you want to have all the information, everything you can do with the Chocobo bits. this part is not mandatory. Anyway, in the Remiem temple we will be able to continue through the side quest. It is going to be slightly difficult, but not as much as the previous Chocobo race. And again, I will provide you all the information I have. I will show you the race twice, so you will have all the information you want. Here you will see a yellow feather on the ground. You just inspect it and your Chocobo will automatically jump, as we did previously in the storyline when we wanted to collect a lot of chests before the Operation Mihian. Anyway, you continue on foot and we'll have access to the Remiem temple. We will have other side quests to do there, but I will cover them in another video. I mostly want to show you all of those Chocobo races. One important note before we begin, in this next Chocobo race we will have the possibility to collect chests in order to get our item, and the reward we are most interested in is a reward we get for collecting all 5 chests on our way. However, you get a different reward for collecting only 3 or 4 chests on your way. The thing is, if you collect, let's say 4 chests, you will not have the possibility to collect only 3 chests on your next run. You will be forced to collect 5 if you want a better reward, and you will not have the possibility to collect the 3 chest reward anymore at all. Never, like really never. But those 3 and 4 chest rewards are not so interesting, especially if you have already completed the game. If you have not, well, it's worth getting them. Anyway, I am only going to show you the 5 chest race, let's say the 5 chest path, and it's up to you if you want to collect only 3 or 4 before and then do the 5 chest path. It's entirely up to you. So after inspecting this sphere, you will have the possibility to talk to the Chocobo just here, and this will automatically start the race. The idea is you can restart as many times as you want. You will not have to pay, you will not have to do it on your first run. What you want to do, if you want the Cloudy Mirror, which is the reward we are mostly interested in, you will have to collect those 5 chests on your way. And make sure that you collect only 3 or 4 if you want the other rewards. So anyway, I am going to show you the 5 chest path, and if you want to defeat, to win the race, you will have to follow exactly the path that I am showing you. So you will have to collect those chests in the same order, and you will have to replicate what I just did. There is no room for error, and you will see that it is a very close race. Also remember that after collecting a chest, your Chocobo will automatically move. It is scripted, so it is not random. As soon as you press A to collect the chest, your Chocobo will make the move, and afterwards you will be able to move manually. I will show you the race once more in order to tell you exactly what you have to do with your controller in order to win the race. But the important part is that you have to follow exactly the same route, and you will get the Cloudy Mirror, which is a key item, and when you have it, the side quest will be almost over. First off, your Chocobo will move accordingly to the camera, so when the camera switches angle, you will have to release the joystick and go left or right again to stay in the center of the track. If you go too much left or right, your Chocobo will get stuck and you will lose a lot of speed. So at the beginning, when the camera is turning left, you will have to release a little bit the joystick and go right immediately. After the chest, you want to go right slightly, not too much, and after the camera switch, you want to go left and right immediately. Meanwhile, you're collecting this chest, go slightly on the right, not too much, and when the camera switches angle, adjust your course. During this one you want to maintain right, because your Chocobo will follow the path, and afterwards you will have to adjust when the camera switches angle. And then for the very last one, it should be very close, but you will be kind of teleported just in front of the other Chocobo. So the key aspect here is to watch out for the camera. When it switches angle, you will have to release the joystick and to push it in the correct direction right after, and you will have to memorize when you have to do that. if you get stuck on either side of the track, you will have to immediately not release but only to change the direction of your joystick to adjust your course. So this will take some trials and errors, but ultimately you should be able to defeat it. It's much easier because your Chocobo is responding quite well to your input. It's frustrating only when the camera switches angle, and for that you are forced to release the joystick. Anyway, now we have the cloudy mirror, so the quest is almost over. The video is not because I am just going to show you, well, not only the end of the quest, but what you can do with your Chocobo. I mean, how to get Tidus' weapon. Plus, I am going to stop at the merchant on the right part of Calmlands, who sells capture weapons, and this will be the start of a very lengthy side quest, which I am not going to cover in this video. I will not have the time, just to show you how to start it, because it's highly advisable to start it as soon as possible, as mentioned earlier. So here there's a small opening on the right part of Calmlands, and there's a shop inside where you can buy all the capture weapons. So this will be covered in a very complete video later on. Just wanted to show you the location. Anyway, allow me to speed up the video. I am going to show you how to get the celestial mirror from the cloudy mirror. And why should we get this celestial mirror as soon as possible? Well, this is a key item that will allow you to open any container or chest which holds those celestial weapons for your characters. So those are the ultimate weapons. In general, they are quite useful and you can complete the game with them. It is completely possible and fine. You can craft your own, but getting the natural celestial weapons for your characters not only is required for a trophy or maybe several trophies, but it will help your progression by a lot. So first big quest you want to do in your Final Fantasy X playthrough is this, getting the celestial mirror. And that's it. Congratulations, you have completed the most difficult part of the game, at least the most frustrating. All the other side quests will not be necessarily shorter, but at least they will be much easier. So here I am going to show you how to get your first ultimate weapon. Again, I will make a video dedicated for all the ultimate weapons and how to unlock their full potential, so I will make a complete video. It is just to show you now that you can get already your first, the first version of your first ultimate weapon. For that, you will have to talk to the Chocobo trainer again. You want to start the race, and this time you simply want to beat the Chocobo trainer time. So you don't have to do again 0.0 seconds. Don't worry, you simply want to beat the Chocobo trainer. So you should do that pretty easily. Again, you want to collect those balloons, but it's not really, it's not as important as before. So the reason why we are redoing this entire Chocobo race is that if you defeat the Chocobo trainer, a character blocking the ledge we were previously on in the video will just move and allow you to continue. And this time, since we have the celestial mirror, we will be able to open the container and we will be able to get Tidus' ultimate weapon. I did poorly in this race, but it doesn't matter because the performance of the trainer was just plain terrible, so I beat her. So you can now quit when it happens, and you will be able to reach again the ledge. So the ledge opens only when you defeat the Chocobo trainer regardless of your score. And at the bottom, as we saw previously, there was, well, not really a chest, but let's say something on the wall that you could interact with, and the celestial mirror will react to it, and when you use it you will get the weapon. So what we will do later on is to complete the remaining side quests in order to access those new containers or chests, and we will collect not only all the celestial weapons but also everything required to level them up in order to unlock their full potential. And this will conclude this second video for Final Fantasy X. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any question, feel free to ask them in the comment section, and I will try to be as clear as possible. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider giving it a like and to subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for the remaining videos for the following side quests. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.